This is ZNS Total Sports, brought to you by Fourth Terrace Diagnostic Center.
Welcome to sports, everybody. The Bahamas Softball Federation's national round robin not getting off to the start officials were hoping for. We get that story tonight from Julian Gibson.
Benson Big Tuna are protesting the decision by the Bahamas Softball Federation not allowing 3 of their players, including Alcott Forbes, to play in the round-robin tournament. Big Tuna venting their frustration by not taking to the diamond last night against the Bulldogs from Abaco.
Through the grapevine, we heard rumors, but we wrote numerous letters to the president. As a matter of fact, his conversation to me said that he was gonna he have his letter typed up in his computer and he was going to send it. We never received it. As far as I'm concerned, it's a constitution issue, and they were not willing to accept it, so therefore we had to take a stand, man.
Will y'all be playing a second game and a third game, or that's it?
We will be visiting you here at the park for a second game and a third game, of course, but we sure as hell won't be playing.
Now, Ted Miller, president of the Bahamas Softball Federation, could care less about the champions from Eleuthera not playing. He is sticking with the rules, but he feels very frustrated for the fans.
I wasn't always the president of the federation. I was a fan too, coming to expecting a big game, a great game, and I know what it feels if it don't come off. So I know what they're feeling. I don't know how and when we could make it up to them, but I hopefully before the tournament over, they could have a spectacular night out and feel good about the end results.
Now for the Bulldogs, they are saying if Big Tuna believe they can swim with the big fish, they should have stepped into the deep last night and swim and stop crying.
We've come from Abaco, all us are Abaco born and bred Abaconians come here to play. So I don't know what's the problem, why they can't bring all of the Eleuthera players here to play us.
Everybody was gap, you know, they had a lot of talks that they come in, there's the home of softball, but no show, man. They cowards, man, bunch of cowards, that's all I could say.
Would you mind, had a problem, if Alcott played tonight?
I want to go by the Constitution, that's the number one thing. If we got to abide by it, everybody needs to abide by it, and the Constitution is clear. You can't travel to play ball, you got to be working and gainfully employed and living where you're playing. And that's the bottom line, and I'm glad the BSF stood up this time and made a stand for it.
This situation, we will have to wait and see how it all works out. Reporting for ZNS Total Sports, I am Julian Gibson.
Thanks a lot, Julian. Now the BSF president, he went on to talk about what repercussions may follow for Big Tuna as a result of their boycott.
We have a clause for deliberate default, and we gotta go in and see what fines or what we're going to levy against them anyhow for the fault in the game. Deliberately the fault in the game, that's the difference.
The lights are out here. You think it's intentional the lights went out?
Well, no, it seems as if BC is off on the whole area. So it ain't that someone killed the switch, unless somebody working with BC.
They were able to get 2 games in on opening day of the round robin. For more on that, we swing it back over to Julian Gibson.
Benson, for the first 2 innings, the fans from Andres, boy, they had a lot to rejoice and be happy about. Go Andres! Go Andres! That's right, Andres led the Truckers 2-0. But boy, the Truckers would pick up steam and start rolling. They would go on to beat Andres 9-2.
It's a good one. Jane, he didn't pitch in a long time. We needed to see what he had, and he put up a good showing. He's throwing the ball really good. Our offense, I was late to the game, but our offense was really good. Pooh was on fire as usual in October, but we're looking really good.
We lost a great team. I mean, the Truckers are one of the top teams in the league, and their backs were outstanding tonight. They really did a toll on us with the hitting. As a matter of fact, they hit about 4 home runs off us, and we had a few arrows and whatnot, but we just need to really be focused and go all out again. We just need to be more unified, work on that defense, and the pass balls, we just need to keep it in front of us, and we'll do much better next time.
Now in game 2 of the round robin tournament, how about the ladies from Spanish Wells? That's right, don't take them for granted at all. The Lady Stingers from New Providence found that out in a rude way. The T's are stitches, but they stitched up the Lady Stingers 15-11 to win the ball game.
They play good. I'm happy with my team. We come down to beat them and Freeport. They are teams we want to beat because they beat us last year and we want to come back and beat them.
That's a big win because we have never beaten Nassau, so we finally accomplished something here.
I just had a late start in the earlier part of the game, and as I got loose, I started throwing more strikes. We're just going to come back and do much better than we did tonight.
A great start for the ladies from Spanish Wells. It will be very interesting to see how they play the rest of the tournament. Reporting for ZNS Total Sports, I am Julian Gibson.
The B3As will hold its annual general meeting and election of officers at the end of next month, and at least one team plans to challenge the current administration. Team United Purpose is led by Rosamund Carey, who hopes to become the new B3A's president. Also included on that slate are Tony Williams-Darling for first vice president, Troy McIntosh for second VP, Carl Oliver for secretary general, Maybelline Miller for assistant secretary, Sharon Gardner for treasurer, Mildred Adderley for assistant treasurer, Rupert Gardner for statistician, Philip Gray for public relations, and Dexter Bodie for special projects.
Team who are prepared to bring a new transformational federation. We are prepared to bring change. We are prepared to be innovative.
When we're successful on November 28th, our team will continue to do what we've been doing so far. We will have a conclave from that Saturday until that following Monday.
The Federation has not been in the state that we would have liked to see it in, and we know coming out of these elections, we intend to have a united front that we can all be proud of and move forward.
We have a very comprehensive strategic plan, and we have 4 pillars, and I'm going to give you just a brief synopsis of the pillars. The first one is restructuring and revitalizing the organization. The second pillar is strengthening our brand and commercial values. The third is renewing stakeholders' relationship for future development. And our fourth and final pillar is building our global experience.
Keno Demerit continues to make a name for himself in primary school basketball. Demerit has led a successful program at Temple Christian for a number of years now, setting a foundation for his players to go on and achieve even bigger goals.
I've seen many successes from after they came from Temple Christian School. They went on to do a lot of great things with their high schools and their other schools that they play in. I also had some girls that went off to college who's actually still doing some really good things.
The National Family Island Regatta Committee will host a gala banquet next Saturday, November 7th at Sandals Emerald Bay in Exuma. The event is being held to celebrate the Cacique Award the regatta won earlier in the year. We recently spoke with Commodore Danny Strohan to get an update.
There's some loose ends we're trying to tie up in terms of the hall and people getting certain things in place. But as far as I'm concerned, everything is go and we're getting ready for the 7th of November.
This is a landmark event for the National Family Island Regatta Committee.
Yes, it is. It represents, the toil and the hard work of all those persons who brought this event to where it is for the past 62 years. I was really ecstatic, when we won the award. I had no doubt we would have won it. But the thing it is, when you look at where the sport has come from, it's amazing that we hadn't won it much earlier than we did. But nevertheless, we're grateful for the fact that, better late than never.
Is this your biggest accomplishment when you look at the National Family Island Regatta, when you look at awards, achievements, and the whole lifetime organization of this?
I really don't know, Julian. That's not an easy, the award is certainly something that one would aspire to get. But when you look at what has been happening with the regatta over the last several years since I've taken over, I think I've been able to move the regatta to another level. Because when I started, we never really recognized those persons who've contributed so much. And as you know, each year we recognize those skippers who've been in the vineyard toiling and contributing to get this regatta to where it is today.
And that will do it for sports. Stay tuned. The Bahamas Tonight comes back after the break.
This is ZN